On May 31st, 2014, three 12-year-old girls, Anissa, Maureen, and Bella, went to a neighborhood park in Viscount. After a few hours, only two of them returned, leaving their other friend behind with a strange story hidden behind the trees. And the story goes like this. They went to a large wooded area with the excuse of playing games where no one was around. And when Anissa and Maureen found the right moment, they stabbed Bella 19 times with a kitchen knife. And then they ran away from there after making sure she was dead. The most intriguing aspect of the story is the motivation behind these children's actions. They claim to have done it to prove themselves to a fictional character named Slenderman.
Remember we tried to find Slenderman?
Trying to find who?
Slender. Slender? Slenderman.
Who's Slenderman?
He's this tall, faceless man who preys on children. He's everywhere.
While the police were searching the murder scene, 6 to 7 kilometers away, they found these two kids covered in blood from head to toe, and they took them to the interrogation room.
Do you know what happened to Bella?
What happened to Bella? Is Bella your friend?
She's not Anissa. She's the one who was stabbed.
Stabbed? I'm not really sure.
Is she dead?
I don't know. She was taken to the hospital.
Maureen thought the operation had been successful, but here she learns from the police's words that there is a chance that Bella might survive. So Bella miraculously crawls from the crime scene to the street without passing out, and a passing cyclist happens to spot her.
911. What's the address of your emergency?
Waukesha County, Lindy. I'm transferring over a caller on Big Bend. That's a dead end just south of Rivera. And he came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Okay.
Sir, you still there? Yes.
Hi, sir. So are you with this 12-year-old female?
Yeah, she says she's having trouble breathing. She said she was stabbed multiple times.
Stabbed multiple times?
Yeah.
After the search, the police successfully managed to get Bella to the hospital on time. Now, let's examine the suspects in the interrogation room. However, the first thing that catches our attention is that this interrogation room is not a regular one.
What are you doing?
This is a DNA swab. This is just checking to see, maybe who you're around or who you touched a little bit earlier today.
Pay attention to Maureen's hands and fingers. These aimless and repetitive movements indicate her psychological distress and inner suffering. Her illness has affected her mind, making it difficult for her to distinguish between right and wrong, or even grasp the seriousness of the situation. After taking her clothes as evidence, the interrogation begins, and the detective takes a different approach. What he aims to do is to establish a connection with her, treating her like a friend.
Everybody's been nice to you?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you had a long day so far. Well, I'm a detective here at the Waukesha Police Department. Okay?
Okay.
And something happened to you with, looks like two of your friends. And so I gotta talk to you about that for a little bit.
Okay.
So I got some questions for you today.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
12. So you just had a birthday not too long ago? What'd you do for your birthday?
Mommy and I had sushi and cupcakes and Daddy.
It should be noted that Maureen didn't have a significant record at school, but sometimes she would bring hammer-like objects to school to defend herself, and her reading materials weren't age-appropriate, according to some of her classmates and a couple of teachers. She didn't want any friends and had difficulty communicating with other children. From her black and white drawings and peculiar behaviors, it was apparent that she lived in a mentally constructed world influenced by fictional characters and movies she loved. Her mother also mentioned that she often read strange stories on strange websites. Putting all these aside, she only had one close friend, Bella. They had met in the 4th grade and were good friends, but their friendship reached another level in the 6th grade after Anissa joined the group. Maureen and Anissa had a lot in common, so Anissa disrupted this friendship.
So does Anissa like Bella?
I can't really tell who Anissa likes and doesn't like.
So do you think she dislikes Bella?
Probably, yeah. She always calls her, I don't want to say it.
Tell me.
She always calls her a bitch.
Why?
I don't know. Because she's being one? I'm just assuming. I don't really know what the definition is.
So do you like Bella pretty much? Have you ever been mad at her?
She was my only friend for a long time. Because
Why would you hurt your only friend?
it was necessary.
What do you mean necessary?
I don't know.
Somebody told you that?
Mm-hmm.
After Anissa joined the group, Maureen seemed to become more prone to violence than before. For example, in the game The Sims, she would refuse to feed the game characters and instead try to kill them or set their houses on fire. While it may seem like a childish adventure on the surface, these are signs of a propensity for violence. Bella's family, fearing that these toxic friendships could also harm Bella, had warned her to stay away from them, but Bella didn't listen. A few days later, the Slender Man story began. But before that, let's examine Anissa's interrogation.
Alright, found you some water. Yeah. Are you doing okay? Are you warm enough in here? This is about Morgan. She can be a little jumpy and like get off task and look around and forget what she's saying in the middle of a sentence a lot. Okay. Because, like, she says she hears voices too. But I just wanted to tell you.
So we're aware of that? Maybe not. Okay. Put on by that then? Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back.
In Anissa's interrogation, 2 things have caught our attention so far. Firstly, her body language suggests that she is affected by the events, appearing saddened and hugging herself, which indicates distress. Secondly, the last sentence she uttered, saying that Maureen hears voices, which we already knew because she has schizophrenia. However, in this context, Anissa mentioning it is probably an attempt to distance herself from the incident.
So I need to know the story as to what happened today, because it's been quite a day, you know, and even stuff that happened, you know, yesterday. And I kind of know bits and pieces, but I don't know the full-on truth. And the only people that know, you know, really what happened are people who are in the place where it happens, okay? Your parents know that you're here talking to me, okay? And I'm glad they're so glad that you're safe. We were scared for you guys, okay?
Now, let's examine the behaviors of these 2 girls together. Anissa has clenched her fingers tightly together and seems to be gasping for breath or struggling to hold herself back, all indicating an effort to maintain self-control. But in the adjacent room, Maureen is experiencing the complete opposite. While Anissa is trying to stay connected to the real world and what's happening, Maureen seems to be lost in an imaginary world.
The silly thing about this was I didn't know I was
Anissa may appear innocent and unaware of what's happening, but let's not forget that these two individuals were plotting the death of their friend.
So what's going on with you? Why do you think you're here today?
Because Anissa and I ran off after hurting Bella.
Tell me what happened with Bella.
What do you mean?
So the three of you went to the park?
Mm-hmm. And then we played on the slide for a little bit. And we went in the bathroom. And then we were singing songs. Anissa tried to knock Bella out. Bella got all mad and stuff. But I was pacing in circles, singing a song for Anissa.
Oh. Okay.
And then she jumped on Bella and she held her to the floor.
Who did Anissa do this?
Mm-hmm.
Where did this happen at?
In some trees.
How'd you guys end up by the trees?
Because we were going to look at like plants and stuff.
How far off the road was it?
Not very. And then we stabbed her
And you stopped her.
with a knife.
You stopped her from what?
Huh?
You stopped her from what?
A knife?
How did you stop her?
I said stab.
Oh, stabbed her?
Mm-hmm.
So, this happened in the woods.
It wasn't in the woods, it was just a little cringe. Morgan said, "Don't be afraid, I'm only a little kitty cat," and jumped on top of Bella and stabbed her repeatedly.
Where'd you guys get the knife from?
My kitchen,
Your kitchen?
Anissa did.
So who left the house with it?
I think Anissa did. It was in the bag. Anissa packed the bag. We both packed the bag. We knew about this since December. One day she just told me that we had to.
What do you mean she told you you had to?
I mean, she told us we had to kill her.
Who did?
Anissa.
When she says us, what do you mean us? Who's us? You mean the two of you or somebody else?
There's nobody else.
In a twist, they're trying to pin the blame on someone else. But what's the real story? In 2009, in a Photoshop contest, someone named Victor Surge created the character Slender Man, a tall, suit-clad figure with long arms. This character quickly gained attention and became popular, inspiring numerous films and games. Years later, Anissa and Maureen encountered this character on the creepypasta website. They read somewhere that if they killed someone, they would gain Slender Man's full support and the chance to live with him in his grand mansion in the Nicolet National Forest. This story excited them so much that they devised a plan to kill their friend Bella. They were supposed to carry out the plan on Maureen's birthday evening, but they couldn't find the right time. So, on the morning of May 31st, they left home, went to the woods, and Maureen had hidden a knife in her bag. After finding a secluded spot, they stabbed their longtime friend 19 times and quickly fled the scene.
Did Bella say anything when you guys were stabbing her?
She said 2 things, but it was afterwards. She said, "I trusted you," and she said, "I hate you." And she kept whispering, "I can't see," over and over and over and over again. I can still hear it. Will I regret giving you this information later?
You know, this information will be used to try to get you some help so you don't have to hear those screams and don't have to worry about hurting anybody anymore.
Okay. She was my best friend since 4th grade.
Who was?
Peyton.
So why did you pick Peyton?
I didn't pick her.
Who picked her?
whoever Anissa was talking about. She made it seem necessary, and I figured if it was necessary, then I would.
So the person that talked to Anissa told him who to do it?
Yep,
What were you trying to do with her when you stabbed her?
kill her. I might as well just say it, we were trying to kill her. I don't know why it was necessary that it was her, but it seemed very necessary. This is going to get me arrested, isn't it? I won't take back any of it.
Maureen says, I don't know why, but I felt like I had to do it, which is a significant clue to her schizophrenia. A schizophrenic person tends to act directly from thought without transitioning to logic. Finally, her statement, I won't take back any of it, indicates a lack of empathy, not just found in schizophrenics, but also in individuals with narcissistic personality disorder. This condition demonstrates their inability to empathize rather than a lack of desire to do so. It's not something they can control.
Who stabbed her first?
I think Anissa stabbed her first, and then I continued, and then she was like, Morgan, make sure she doesn't escape, and then I was like,
So you think that it was Anissa first?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah. Not really.
So then how did you get the knife from Anissa?
She sort of just shoved it into my hand, and there it was. And then I didn't know what I did. It sort of just happened. Please don't cut off my head.
Nobody's gonna cut off your head.
When the detective briefly stepped out of the room, the little girl's strange behaviors emerged.
Just wake up and every wearing and hold on the outside. Sometimes looking in.
The detective needs to understand exactly what is going on in the mind of this girl with schizophrenia. She perceives the world through shadows, and the flight of the bumblebee music plays in all the doors of her mind. There's no connection between reality and dreams, hence there is no melody to the sound and no reaction on her face. Articles show that the rapidly progressing schizophrenia can occur in about 1 in every 300 people today, with 1 in every 100 being under the age of 13. If a person acquires such a condition as schizophrenia, while the brain is closing many synapses during adolescence, growth can be challenging, resulting in the difficulties we see in Maureen. Finally, in 2017, Anissa confessed to the murder, and the prosecutor declared her innocent due to her illness, sentencing her to 25 years of treatment in a hospital. In 2021, when it was discovered that she had no issues with the community, she began receiving treatment outside the hospital. However, the story was different for Maureen. She remained in the hospital until the prosecutor's decision came, and after that, her mother claimed she had recovered and returned to normal. But the prosecutor issued a decision for her to remain hospitalized for a full 40 years.